Fellow travelers, friends, welcome to the Dialogues Within. These are dialogues with myself and conversations with my friends. Most important of all, these are honest dialogues steeped in truth. Fellow travelers, friends, a few days back I was sitting in the lawn of my bungalow. It was a sunny afternoon, cold, sunny, comfortable. And the sky was deep blue. When I looked up, I could see two eagles gently gliding in circles. Beautiful dance they were doing together, very rhythmic, very lyrical, to the music of the cosmos. And then a plane came into the view, and its sound was slightly, disturbing, as if the plane did not belong to the scenery. It was invading the space. After all, aeroplanes have been created by human beings. So that plane went to an unknown destination. And with that, I went into a daydreaming spree. And I started thinking, humans, though they themselves cannot fly, have made machines which can go far and wide. In fact, Voyager 1, which was launched in 1977, is furthest from the Earth right now. It's in interstellar space. And Voyager 1, recently I heard in news that it had gone dark, but perhaps latest news says it started communicating back with the Earth again. So Voyager 1 in 1990 took a photograph, an iconic photograph. That was, it turned around and looked at our galaxy, and in that photograph there was just a pixel of blue dot, which was the Earth, the pale blue dot. And that photograph actually is iconic because it shows the insignificance of humanity on the cosmic scale. We are not even a blink in eternity, not even a blink. And this photograph inspired Carl Sagan to write a book in 1994, The Pale Blue Dot, a vision for future of humanity in space, something like that. In that book, Carl Sagan speaks about the solar system, and also he challenges geocentrism. In fact, he says that geocentrism was there mainly because people didn't speak out their minds. In their hearts, they knew that Earth is not the center of the universe. Well, Carl Sagan studied the solar system and various other planets. And basically, he tried to put in perspective what Earth is. He was a man who was in favor of space colonization and terraformation in order to save the humanity. So Carl Sagan's pale blue dot and has become, and book is pretty philosophical and speaks about the insignificance and fragility of the universe, of the human beings. But when you think of space, usually in schools we are told about the Milky Way, the beautiful photographs. One feels like the twinkling in eye or something. But the space is huge, unimaginably huge. It's unending. It's It's dark. It's scary. So, fellow travelers, talking of space, you know, the 2024 Booker Prize was given to the book Orbital by Samantha Harvey. A very interesting book. In the sense, it's pure fiction, this book, in which 6 astronauts are in the space station. And in a day, a Tuesday of October, they go round the Earth 16 times. And these 6 astronauts have been depicted, differently. One is the heart of the space station, another is the soul and a conscious keeper, another is the mind or hands, things like that. But they're doing very important job there in the space. They're doing the experiments which will fast forward the humanity. But at a point of time, they start wondering about the Earth. In this novel, or a novella, if you can see. Novel is actually longer, novella is a short version. Novel has many plots. Novella has a single plot. But then, whatever you call it, a novel or a novella, there is not really any plot there. And these astronauts also, they are not the real characters. The real character is the Earth. There is a pull of the Earth. The astronauts feel pulled towards it in all its beauty. The Earth is there. And the prose in this book is astonishingly beautiful, lyrical, at times repetitive, like the rotation of the spaceship around the Earth, at times repetitive. But, it makes you think, where will we be without Earth? And it was the very first para of this book, Orbital, which really pulled me. I would love to read it, this para about space and Earth. It's like orbit -1. That's the first chapter. Rotating about the Earth in their spacecraft, they are together and so alone. That even in their thoughts, their internal mythologies at times convene. Sometimes they dream the same dreams of fractals and blue spheres and familiar faces engulfed in dark, and of the bright, energetic black of the space that slams their senses. Raw space is a panther, feral and primal. They dream it's talking through the quarters. This is how the book begins. And they will be here for 9 months in this space station. And what will be those 9 months like for an astronaut? They will be here for 9 months of this weightless drifting, 9 months of this swollen head, 9 months of sardine living, 9 months of earthward gaping, then back to the patient planet below. Some alien civilization might look on and ask, what are they doing here? Why do they go nowhere but round and round? The answer, the Earth is the answer to every question. Earth is a face of an exalted lover. They watch it in sleep and wake and become lost in its habits. The Earth is a mother waiting for her children to return, full of stories and rapture and longing. Their bones are a less dense, their limbs a little thinner, eyes filled with sights that are difficult to tell. And so begins this, Booker Prize novel. Very beautiful and very lyrical. It's a novella, 137 pages. But if you intend reading it like I did, take your time on it. I took 10 days to read it, to absorb it, take in the beauty of the earth, putting myself in space and watching. And it also tells about the fragility of human life. In this story itself, one of the astronauts, she's from Japan, and she loses her mother. She becomes an adult orphan in this space. What sort of distant grief she would have been going through. And, the mother who was trying down in Japan, for her also, a daughter up in space going around the earth. And how does it happen has been described here. I want to share it with you because it touched me. The mother, the woman lies on one of the narrow steps. She is narrow too. A broomstick is how she sees herself. All this woodenness around her and no human being. So she has turned to wood so as not to be outdone. Her blood has slowed and everything has slowed. She has not felt these last weeks. She has looked to see the moving light in the sky that, since her husband's death, has made nearly 60,000 orbits of Earth, and has thought she would try to wait another month for her daughter to come back. But since when did death wait? And what sort of homecoming would it be anyway? To die on her daughter's arrival on Earth? Her extremities feel suddenly hot, like a heart is trying to send the blood away from itself. Let me rest, her heart says. So, this is the mother looking up to the daughter. She can't see the daughter, but she sees a light moving around in the sky. And then what happens is that in this book, when you look at the earth, not many thoughts come. It describes beautifully the swells of the ocean giving way to deserts, the change of the, seasons, the high mountains, and there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries. All that conflict, all that egos, all those trips. You can't see it from space. It's one earth beautifully moving around in space. How insignificant conflicts look to these astronauts. But yet, strangely, at night, everything is dark except the Indo-Pakistan border, which is so lighted and depicts the conflict between two countries even from space. And to me, this novel was not only beautiful, it made me fall in love with space all over again, with Earth also all over again. And this is the only thing we have, the Earth. We need to preserve it. And also in this novel, again I felt that the life is very fragile. And life of an astronaut is a life of adventure, but also a life of isolation. It reminded me of a song very old song by David Bowie, Space Oddity. Space Oddity was a song of 70s, you know. I heard it when I was in college. The music, the lyrics set a sort of a primordial fear in me. Fear of isolation, being left alone. It's about, you know, a man, an astronaut, Major Tom, who is in a space station. And there's a conversation between him and the ground control. He's about to come back, but then, you know, the contact is lost. And Major Tom is stuck in space. It's a haunting song. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pill, put your helmet on. It goes like this. The Tom control is telling Major Tom that you have made your grade. Now take and come back. And then Major Tom tells, this is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door. And I'm floating in a most peculiar way. I'm floating in the most peculiar way. The stars look different today. Ground control then speaks to Major Tom. He says, your circuit's dead. There's something wrong. And then desperately talks to Major Tom. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? But Major Tom doesn't hear the ground control. And he says, here I'm floating around in my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. So, there's nothing I can do. Major Tom is stuck in space. And this thought snapped me from my reverie. I found myself sitting in my lawn, you know. The eagle up above in the sky, the blue sky, they were still sailing there. And I thought, can I go to space? Or, given a chance, will I go to space? I don't know. I really don't know. Given a chance, will I go to space? लेकिन अगर तन से नहीं जा सकते तो मन से तो जा ही सकते हैं ना. वो कहते हैं ना, तन को लगी 100 बंदिशें, मन को लगी न रोक. तन की 2 गज कोठरी, मन के 3 लोक. Friends, fellow travelers, this earth is the only thing which we have. Let's love it, let's protect it, and let's live gently here. Peace and joy to you. Smiles and cheers to you.